Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube numerology segment. I'm going to be talking about destiny number one in numerology. Now, the destiny number in numerology is distinct from the life path number. They're very similar, though, but they're a little bit different. Life path number seems to be more about your attributes and things you could be very proficient in, which could be tied into one's destiny and their path or mission. But the destiny seems to be about more how you go about that energy that's connected with the life path number. But it could, in some cases, it could be a certain career, and it could be tied in with your mission as well. Now, I don't think this is, looking at this, I don't believe the destiny number supersedes or surpasses the astrological chart in terms of its importance or significance and the effect or impact it has on a person. But because you're talking about a destiny number in numerology is one proponent of a numerology chart, one astrological chart is actually comprised of many components that make up the chart. But anyway, on to numerology, destiny number one. Well, destiny number one, well, it seems, it's connected with the sun, but when you look at this as well, I see this as having an Aries kind of flavor to it. And when the person that has destiny number one may go about whatever they're attempting to do with a lot of assertiveness, a lot of aggression, very little procrastination or hesitation. And this could be a person that could have an abundance of vitality and stamina. The energy level can be high. And the physical body, as far as their physical body goes, it could be somebody that has a very good constitution. It could be somebody that is capable of vigorous efforts and inordinate achievement. But the thing is, you're still got to factor in, if you have, if you have a chart, you look at the life path destiny number one in numerology, it can be connected with a lot of enterprise, initiative, and leadership. But when you look at, let's say if you have your chart, astrology chart, you got to factor things in there as well. Because let's say you have a strong Pisces element, let's say your sun or your ascendant is in Pisces, or especially a Pisces ascendant, you might have a little bit less vitality and energy than the typical destiny number one person. Or even if your sun or your Mars is in your 12th house, that could indicate diminished or dissipated energy. Or even if, saying your astrological chart, let's say that your ascendant sun or Mars is making an adverse aspect to your natal Neptune. This could indicate that you might feel a little bit more like daydreaming and fantasizing, being more lethargic than actually taking action on matters. And when somebody with the life path number one, what they have to guard against is becoming overly self-centered, overly arrogant, egotistical, having their things taking strong precedence over others. Now, there is that innate desire often to lead, and even if this person is in a subordinate or subservient role, there might still be leadership qualities injected in that. And a person that has a life path number, the destiny number one in their numerology chart, destiny number one, a guard against taking an overly imperious stance with others. And when I say that, what I'm saying is answering somebody by the way, that's new, by the way. In other words, in that example, reminding somebody that something's innovative, or you're implying that they're not smart enough to have known something because it was connected with new technology. Being imperious, saying something in an imperious tone. These people can actually make very good supervisors, but the thing about it is they have to guard against their arrogance and thinking that their ideas are always better than others. It's always important to look at somebody else's ideas and what they want to say about a certain matter. And really, the life path number one can be capable, the destiny number one can be capable of inordinate achievement, but they have to get past often their own egos in order to do this. Now, given that this life path number one, I see could be, even though it's connected with the sun, can correspond with Aries energy, this person might flourish in some kind of leadership or management position, a supervisory role, even if it's some kind of general mundane capacity, such as a manager in a retail store. But could also be somebody that might do something like Aries related, such as maybe surgery or EMT position, or a person, or maybe even doing something like arson, investigation, welding, any connection with fire. Again, this could be a person that could have a lot of energy, capable of vigorous achievement, but again, you got to factor in the astrological chart as far as this goes. And even if, let's say, for example, somebody even has a different a life path number in contrast to their destiny number, that could be, I mean, not a different, I mean, what I'm saying is if their life path number has certain energy in it that might conflict with the destiny number, you got to factor that in as well. Let's say somebody has the life path number 7 and destiny number 1. Well, life path number 7 can be very introverted and introspective, may have a little harder time taking a leadership role in something because they might want to spend a lot of their time by themselves, but it doesn't mean they couldn't be perhaps a leader in some quiet manner. Or this could be a person too that I mean, if you factor in, I mean, you can be, you know, like say again, life path number 7 and somebody has destiny number 1, even if the person, you know, life path number 7 again could be somewhat introverted, introspective, but they could still be a leader maybe in smaller groups and people that they just know well. So I mean, those are some ways that could factor in. It's just important to look at everything when you're trying to decipher, you're trying to delineate the destiny number in numerology. You have to factor in that there is also life path number. There's also your astrology chart to take into consideration. So really don't have too much more to say about this, but again, this could be a person that could be being a leadership person. It could be somebody, could also be an innovator, somebody that designs new concepts, new ideas, and wants to put a lot of energy into doing so. And it could be a person too that might not necessarily like it if somebody disagrees with their ideas, their new their way of thinking on a certain issue. But this person has to learn again to be able to accept others' opinions and others' ideas and theories about things, because it's not just about them. It's, I mean, they have to remember that there's other people to consider, and it's you know, it's other people do have their ideas, their opinions. Just because one person might be right on a matter doesn't mean the other person is always wrong. It's just different perspectives and vantage points on them. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube numerology segment for my take on destiny number 1 in numerology. Until next time, stay well.